If you've ever wanted to make a living doing your music, but you don't know how, you need real step-by-step guidance, you need to watch this video. My name is Jason Doughty. I've been a music producer for over 20 years, and I'm on a journey to leave my 9-to-5 and do music full time. I'm about halfway through year one. It's a 3-year journey. If you want to follow along, just follow the hashtag #MusicIsTheDayJob. Subscribe to my channel, and you're going to watch step by step exactly how I'm doing it, the progress I'm making, the pitfalls that I go into. In this particular video, it's halfway through year one, so I'm doing a Q2 recap and showing you exactly where I am in the process. Let's go. Okay, so this is going to be the Q2 recap for year one. Just to give you a little bit of context on what all of that means, at the very beginning of this year, I decided, you know what, I want to do music full time. I want to actually make a living at my music production. And I dove into ChatGPT, asked a lot of questions, created a plan. I'll post another video, or I'll link a video to that entire story and exactly what I did so you understand how I created this plan. But we're just going to stick to year one right now so you understand what I'm doing and how much progress we're making. This is going to be a Q2 recap, so we're going to compare it to Q1 and see how we're doing. This is the secret sauce. Tracking your results is the best way to keep you on track. So many of us create these plans, we create these goals, we get off to a great start, but things fizzle out, life gets in the way, and then you forget to go back and actually see how you're doing and tracking the results and then making decisions and deciding if you need to pivot on things, right? So this is probably the most important part. If you want to make a living doing music, you have to track your results, you have to track your income, your revenue, your spending, your production, how productive you are, all of those types of things, and that's what this video is all about.
If you say so.
Here is the 3-year plan. We're going to really focus on year one because we're halfway through year one. Just going to show you exactly what that is. So these are the 3 ways I plan on making a living doing music. The majority of this is in sync placement, so doing music for TV and film. So I have a weekly production schedule, all of that, right? 2 to 3 tracks a week. YouTube channel. I'm going to record 1 to 2 videos a week, get monetized, so that's part of it, getting those AdSense dollars as well. And then affiliate marketing as well. So I'm part of a community called the Sync Producer Hub. It's run by Anthony Clint Jr. It's invaluable. It's how I'm creating all of this. Without this community, without those courses, without all of that, I would not know what I'm doing. So that's a huge part of this. But he also has an affiliate link. So if you watch this video and you decide, hey, I want to be part of the Sync Producer Hub, and you end up subscribing to that, then I would get a part of that, of the money that you pay for your subscription. So all 3 of these things, but the main one is sync placements. That's the one I'm most focused on to generate the most income. We're about to go through Q1 versus Q2 of this year, and we're going to start with the productivity. How much work am I actually getting done? So let's start with tracks created. Okay, as you can see, I created a lot more tracks in Q1 than I did in Q2. I did 41 tracks in Q1, 17 only in Q2. Year to date, that's 58. I do have this overall goal to have at least 150 tracks in music libraries by the end of this year. I had some from last year that carry over. So right now I have 90, and then I have 60 more to go. So you can see, balancing between the quarters, I'm actually on track to do that. So as long as I do, around 30 next quarter and the quarter after that, we're going to be on track. But that's how many tracks I've created.
Wow, that's a lot.
All right, so a big part of making a living in music, especially with sync licensing, is reaching out to music libraries, developing relationships, pitching your music so they can pitch that same music to music supervisors and get your stuff on TV and film. So part of that is a numbers game. You want to reach out to as many as possible where you are a good fit for their library. Are you ready for how many I attempted in Q2? Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, so as you can see in Q1, I reached out to 31, and in Q2, I reached out to 52. So that means I've reached out to 83 music libraries this year so far. If you're part of the Sync Producer Hub and you've taken the Road to 10 Placements course, Clint actually recommends that you reach out to 5 a day. So I'm nowhere close to that, right? I need to up my production when it comes to reaching out to music libraries, and that's going to be a key focus for Q3.
Work mode. Focus up.
You can reach out to music libraries until you're blue in the face, but if you don't get accepted, it's not doing any good. And the reason that you may not be getting accepted is either the music you're making is not quality, or it's not formatted correctly, or you're sending it and it's just not a fit for any of the projects that they have, right? There's a million reasons. That's why you have to reach out to so many. But actually getting accepted is the key. So did we get accepted into any in Q2? Did we?
The suspense is killing me.
We did! As you can see, we had 0 in Q1, but in Q2, I actually got accepted to 2 new music libraries, started those relationships off on the right foot. One of them is called Empath. It's an all-women's owned music library, which is really cool. I'm really excited that I got a few tracks in with them. And then for the second one, it was Hard Music Group, which is a Canada-based one, and they only deal with, they only sign on people that are from Canada, which is awesome as well. That was one of my goals at the very beginning of this year, was to sign with a Canadian one, so I'm very excited about that. Plus, they had some upfront sync fees. So they offered me a deal to create 10 tracks, $300 a piece. So that's $3,000 up front to create 10 tracks. They were orchestral hip hop sports ones, which was really exciting to do. And I've got the deliverables in. So let's go. This is the most exciting part.
This is exciting.
Now you might be saying, okay, Jason, this is great. You got accepted by libraries. You're making a bunch of tracks. Whoop-de-doo, right? Let's talk about the money.
Cha-ching. Cha-ching.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the money. So let's bring up the revenue. I'm getting excited here. How much revenue did I make in Q2?
Oh boy.
All right. As you can see, Q1, I made $722. Q2, I only made $301, which is a little over $1,000 year to date. That is not taking into account the royalties I'm about to get an ASCAP from Q4 in the next statement, and I actually had a lot of placements in Q4, so that's going to make up a lot of traction there. And then there's that $3,000 deal, right? I haven't got paid for that. I've delivered the tracks, but until the money's in the bank, I don't count it.
I agree with you there.
All right, Jason, that's cool. I mean, you showed us how much revenue you've made this year, whoop-de-woo, right? But what about profit? Nobody ever talks about profit. Like, what are your expenses? I know you have a home studio. I know you have to buy gear, equipment, subscriptions to things like Disco to house your music and all of that. What's the actual profit? Look at all that red. So there were some expenses. Good call out. I'm glad you brought this up. In Q1, I made $602. In Q2, I'm actually down when you count expenses. Negative $11.55. Year to date, I'm down $553. Now, like I mentioned before, there is that $3,000 deal. There is more royalties coming early in this month, so Q3 should make up for a lot of this. But let me show you exactly where that money is going. I'm going to hop into a spreadsheet.
Your spreadsheets!
So let me show you exactly what those expenses are and how I'm investing in myself. Is this the best way to invest in yourself? I don't know. It's always a trial and error game, right? But I want to show you exactly what I'm doing to try to build a career so I can build income I can count on, revenue streams I can count on, so I can eventually leave my 9-to-5 within 2.5 years now, right? So let's go. So all of these expenses up here are the normal ones. Disco is just where I, if you see it here, Disco is just where you host your playlist. So when you're pitching your playlist of music to music supervisors or to music libraries, it's the industry standard, and it makes it really easy for them to review your music and provide feedback and all of that. Now, here are the more expensive. Let's talk about the high ticket items. So right here is one from Native Instruments. So I did need to invest in some sounds. I was doing more live string sounds, so I needed to invest in a couple of libraries there. Shades of Sync, that's a conference coming up in November in Atlanta. Anthony Clint Jr. is one of the hosts there, but it's so important to be physically present with people that are in the industry and to get into the room. I decided to invest in that trip in November, and I bought this ticket and these plane tickets right here. So this is a big part of the expense. This probably covers any profit that I would have made, right? That, you know, we're negative 500 and whatever it was. These two items right here for Shades of Sync go right along with that. There's going to be a car rental. There's going to be hotel associated with that as well. But I'm waiting for the royalty checks and other things to cover those expenses before I buy those. But those will be additional expenses that we're adding. I have a whole video on how important it is to be in the room and all of that, which you can find here in the channel if you subscribe. All right. And then finally, this is the Screen Composers Guild of Canada. One of the libraries that I joined, the Hard Music Group, the Craig, who is the director, I think he's the music director of it. He might even be the owner. He's a board member for that organization. They strive to help Canadians make sure that they can still make a living at music, you know, licensing, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm 100% behind supporting that organization, and it's a great way to network as well. And then Production Music Association, I also invested in that as well. So I'm joining more groups. I'm trying to grow my network. I'm trying to build more relationships. That's part of this plan. And it's something that I lack in. I'm kind of an introvert. I don't get out. I don't reach out to people. So this is a big part of my plan as well. And some of that takes investing. So this is what I'm investing in.
Wow, that's a lot.
All right. I do have one more Q2 stat that I want to share with you. And that is number of placements. How many placements did I get in Q2? Let's go.
Oh, do hurry, dear. I'm on pins and needles.
And here we go. 31. Right? We had 20 in Q1, Q2, I have 31. So year to date, I have 51. And that was mostly on a show called El Conde, which I believe is in Telemundo. And it's a show actually in Spain. I've never seen the show, but they kept using this actually two pieces of music in different cues. So some music supervisor found a cue of mine and liked to use it for certain situations, which has made it a really great Q2.
Fire.
All right, so that is the Q2 wrap-up. That's where I'm at in this journey. If you want to figure out how I put all of this together, this plan together, working with AI, check out this video.